Recently, media entrepreneur and Ebony Life CEO Mo Abudu responded to claims of copyright infringement by journalist Tobore Ovore in relation to the movie Oloture. Now, a quick reminder that in 2020, the complainant took to Twitter to express her displeasure over an alleged adaptation of her intellectual property dated as far back as 2014 for the Netflix-acquired movie. Now, this is what Tobore had to say.
It's a copy and paste of my work. Oloture is my work. Oloture is my life story. Let me be fair with my use of words. If not, I would have said it is based on my life story. But let me still cut them some slack. It's an adaptation of my work and my life story. It's not a regular investigation.
Wow. She said that with some level of confidence. You know how it feels when you see someone wearing your missing shirt and you just feel so sure it's yours, the assurance. According to Wikipedia, Oloture tells the story of a young and naive Nigerian journalist who goes undercover to expose the dangerous and brutal underworld of human trafficking. Even though this synopsis resonates with our claim, it's our standard on the show to hear from both sides of the divide so we don't join the mob seeking jungle justice. Now let's hear from Ebony Life CEO Mo Abudu.
Again, for the record, Oloture is a story inspired by true events involving the work of scriptwriters, the development of characters, locations, situations and occurrences that were created by our writers. There was no Alero, Chooks, Linda, or Blessing in Tobore's newspaper report. Her boss was never in love with her, one of the several parts of the film that was created by our writers. Certain incidents in Oloture are similar to what happened to Tobore, and this is why she was given credit and why Premium Times was given credit. However, Oloture could never be Tobore's life story, as she has claimed. Indeed, so many women from around the world are trafficked to Italy, have similar stories.
Wow. Obviously, we can call this the battle of terminologies. One party is saying it's an adaptation, while the other is saying it's just an inspiration. The first question here is, was Tobore totally in the dark before the movie made it to Netflix? Let's hear more from Mo Abudu.
So in May 2019, 20 months before the launch of Oloture on Netflix, we reached out to Tobore to acknowledge her journalistic achievement, to commend, recognize, and encourage her in her ongoing campaign against sex trafficking and that of her NGO. We granted Tobore a private screening of the movie, gave her a special mention in the end credits of Oloture, and I interviewed her on Moments with Mo. In addition, we wrote to her and offered her 5% of the proceeds from our planned cinema run to go towards her NGO, which she acknowledged. We also reached out to other NGOs to pledge proceeds from our cinema run, as Oloture was never created as a commercial film.
Other issues mentioned are exchange of cash gifts between both parties just to establish how cordial their relationship was before the present clash. At what point did the investigative journalist feel she deserved more? Or this has always been her stance from the first day she came across this body of work. However, she gave her peace of mind and made her demands known in a recent rejoinder as a response to the press release from the Ebony Life team. Here are a few excerpts. The human trafficking investigation in my story had commenced prior to my employment with Premium Times. So which means Premium Times was not in the best position to grant a right to her story, according to her. So secondly, she wants a compensation in cash and credits. Compensation for copyright infringement in the sum of 5 million whooping US dollars. Ring the bell, somebody. That's about 2 billion naira. Now, newsflash. According to Tech Cabal, a leading tech website in Nigeria, Netflix reportedly pays from $5,000 to as much as $70,000 per licensed African film, and they expect return on investment, definitely. So let's even mark it up aggressively to $500,000. What is the worth of the company in question itself? Now, another thing worthy of mention in our rejoinder is this. If Ebony Life had given me full disclosure from the beginning, we would not be where we are at this point. So she believes she deserves a better opening and end credit. Let's take a look at what the end credit looks like on screen. Thank you to Premium Times and Tobore Ovore and all journalists who go undercover to expose the truth for inspiring this film. Full stop. But she feels such credit doesn't portray the weight of her contribution. So she's asking for something like, this film is an adaptation of, West Africa, undercover, inside human trafficking mafia, an investigative story by Tobore, something more detailed. Like they say in pidgin English, say it with your full chest. So will this relationship that was once cordial get back to flourishing ways? After this series of media attacks, now that both teams are likely to seek legal redress, will there be a worthy resolution for both parties? I think this will be a case study for content owners and content producers as the film industry in Nigeria continues to evolve. Future updates will definitely be brought to your notice. Are there worthy stories you want me to share on the show? Hit me up on my social media platforms and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. My name is Shagazi and I'll see you on another wonderful episode of Recently. Bye for now.